Welcome to Boring Topics. Russia, the Soviet Union, and the Warsaw Pact. For 40 years, these terms are synonymous with the Cold War and Communism. Although only Russia is still in existence, the legacy of the Cold War still casts a shadow on today's political scene. But what exactly was the difference between the Soviet Union, Russia, and the Warsaw Pact? All three were intertwined throughout the Cold War and remained so until the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991. To a greater or lesser extent, all three terms tend to be used interchangeably, but while all three were the key parts of what is sometimes referred to as the Eastern Bloc of communist countries, the terms are not interchangeable. But what does each term actually refer to? Let's start with the Soviet Union. Although frequently spoken of as synonymous with Russia, its formal name, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, gives away its actual composition. It was a superstate comprised of 15 nations or union republics, all of which in theory were sovereign nations who had chosen to ally together in a federal union. The 15 Soviet republics were, in alphabetical order, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarusia, Estonia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzia, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenia, Ukraine, and Uzbekistan. Each of the 15 union republics formally possessed the following three characteristics. They had at least one border that was not shared with another union republic, the nationality that gave the union republic its name was a majority demographic, and the union republic as a whole possessed a population in excess of 1 million. Additionally, they had the right to secede from the Soviet Union at any time. This was granted to them by Article 17 of the 1936 USSR Constitution, which stated, "Every Union Republic shall have the right freely to secede from the USSR." For obvious reasons, this was never used by any Union Republic until 1991. Something else to be noted is the fact that the number of Union Republics did not stay constant over the course of the Soviet Union's existence. However, the above 15 Union Republics were the only ones for the majority of the Soviet Union's existence. No matter which Union Republics were added or subtracted, the Soviet Union was completely dominated by its largest Union Republic. Formerly known as the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic, but generally referred to as Russia, this is where the Soviet Union was administered from, with Moscow being the administrative heart and seat of power for the Soviet Union. Furthermore, Russia was by far the largest of the Union republics, comprising over half the total population of the Soviet Union and the vast majority of its land area. Russian was the de facto official language of the Soviet Union, and Russia was far and away the most developed industrially of the Union republics. Outside of the Soviet Union lay the communist-run countries who were allied with the Soviet Union through the mechanism of the Warsaw Pact alliance. This pact had a total of 8 members: Albania, Poland, Bulgaria, Romania, Czechoslovakia, the German Democratic Republic, Hungary, and of course the Soviet Union. Created as a response to the formation of NATO, the Warsaw Pact countries were bound to mutual defense of one another, but it was not a relationship of equals. The dominant power in the Warsaw Pact was the Soviet Union, which also controlled vast aspects of the Warsaw Pact nations, both in their economies and also in their politics and leadership. Ultimately, the Warsaw Pact member nations were de facto satellite states of the Soviet Union, but were not formally part of the Soviet Union. So to recap, Russia refers to the country which still exists today, the Soviet Union refers to the state that it used to belong to and which no longer exists, and the Warsaw Pact refers to a collective defensive treaty amongst multiple nations allied with the Soviet Union, which also no longer exists. And now you know the difference between the Warsaw Pact, the Soviet Union, and Russia. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. More videos are coming soon.